Kozlak. His knee knocks around. Lamoureux now tangled up with Frazier, and the two gentlemen are exchanging some words. There's a shot. Score! In the slot, it's Justin Alonzo hitting it off towards the right of Jason Torf. Alonso scores his 19th goal of the season, and Port Huron takes a 1-0 lead with 12:24 to go in the first period. Justin Alonzo has it. Very smooth puck handler. And Alonso, a lot of open ice to work with, shoots it past Jason Torf, and Torf allows his first goal with the Dayton Demolition. Right now, Jacques Lamoureux talking to the referee, but Justin Alonzo will be credited with his 19th goal in the season, and that's his second most on the Prowlers team, as the Prowlers lead 1-0, 12:24 to go in the first. Not org, like I said earlier. He's been with the Air Force. Shot, score! Roger Tagoona from the slot, from the near face-off circle, drags it towards his left, flings it up top over the shoulders of Torf. And Port Huron now with a 2-0 advantage, 7:34 to go in the first. Quick moves by Roger Tagoona. And Daguna scores his 12th goal in the season. And the visiting Prowlers now have themselves a 2-goal advantage. Roger Tagoona with that high blast, the top shelf of the net. That's where the goals are hidden. As Alonso leans in, Roger Tagoona with his 12th. Port Huron now with a 2-0 advantage. 7.5. Loose puck, delayed penalty as Felten works it, and Torf watches. It is a delayed penalty on Port Huron as Dayton going to work. Shot and score! Jacques Lamoureux! Jacques Lamoureux, part of the Air Force Academy, scores his 3rd goal of the season, takes it towards his left in the slot, and unleashes one as Farrow, more concentrated towards the left, and burying his 3rd goal in the season in his 7th game is Lamoureux, and the lead is cut in half. Dayton now trailing Port Huron by a score of 2-1, and that penalty is gone as Dayton scores on the delayed penalty. For the breakaway, and Torf denies him, and Marks picks up the loose puck. To say it more clearly, Farrow, beautiful save there as here comes Kozlak, drags it, scores! Kozlak scores. Takes it towards the left, waiting to bait Farrow, and Kozlak drops it in, and we have a tie game at 2 with 17:19 to go in the second, and Scott Kozlak, goal number 4 in his 4th game in Dayton, Ohio. Face-off center ice, Lamb turns it over, Pestrikov frees it away, but Pelche, good defense on the red. Now going for Hicks at the near point, feeding up for Skinner. Nice gentle pass towards the slot. Score! Levier beats a diving Jason Torf, giving Port Huron their 2nd lead of the night. And what a bury of a shot that was on that goal. Port Huron 3 and Dayton 2 with 15:11 to go in the 2nd period. Levier buries it for goal number 18 on the season past Jason Torf. And the Prowlers find themselves on top once again after Dayton ties it a couple minutes ago. Right towards Milligan in the slot. Behind the goal line now, it's Mahesh. Mahesh looking around, and Milligan tangling up with his former teammate of last year, Len Pelche. Nope, make that. Henderson swinging around, score! Tie game at 3. Mike Henderson had it on the right side of Andy Farrow, feeding it off the pads, and it bounces off him and past the goal line. And we have our 2nd tie of the game at 3 with 5:03 to go in the second. And now the Prowlers out shooting the Demolition 22-21. Mike Henderson will get a point on this. It will either be his 10th assist or 10th goal. plays it and gives it for Ryan Devine. Dayton will swap a couple of their players. Lapari now squeezes Hicks. Levier coming on a 2-on-2 now. Shot and score! Chris Levier back-to-backs for Port Huron. And the Prowlers now lead 4-3 with 1:24 to go in the second. Two of them in the far face-off circle. Chris Levier, he's now got 19 goals on the season in his 17th game. Port Huron 4, Dayton 3. And the Prowlers back on top by 1 as the Demolition out shooting the Prowlers 24-23. Chris Levier answers again for the Prowlers. He has definitely been a thorn in the side of the Demolition all these 11. Now 29 power play goals, the most in the league out of 108 opportunities. 4-3 Port Huron. Port Huron going on a 5-on-4. Here comes Skinner, score! A grand total of 5 seconds on the power play is all that Port Huron needs to reclaim a 2-goal lead. It's Dustin Skinner scoring again, his 25th of the year, leading the Port Huron Prowlers in that category. And it's 5-3 Prowlers over the Dayton Demolition. I believe some of the Prowlers fans making their way down south to Dayton, Ohio, watching the game. Of course, with Port Huron and Dayton, it's a tricky situation as most of these fans fell in love with the Dayton Demons the last 3 years. And they're still following these players. And the big thing is, most of the Prowlers did help Dayton win their first championship since the 1970s. While they are cheering for Port Huron, they have a reason for it. As the players, here comes Chris Wilcox and Roger Tagoona drop the gloves. Let's get it on. Wilcox waits in his side of the neutral zone. Roger Tagoona comes in sniping. Wilcox holds out his right hand. First blow, Wilcox in the face of Roger Tagoona. Wilcox has Tagoona trapped up, and Tagoona slams Wilcox. His back on the ice. The fight is over. Roger Tagoona, Chris Wilcox, good scrap. Good scrap between the forward, Roger Daguna of Port Huron, and the defenseman, Chris Wilcox, and both gentlemen will serve 5 for the fights. Wilcox to the box, Daguna back in the box after serving his misconduct for unsportsmanlike activities. And both gentlemen serving 5 for their fights. Going back to the original point, like I said, fans, some of them are cheering from the former Demons, as the Dayton Demolition looks to establish their foothold. And for the Dayton fans, this team deserves the Dayton Demolition. I mean, they deserve all the cheering and all the support they can get because these boys work hard, they play hard. It is a good bunch of guys with a blue-collar work ethic. As Dayton now trailing 5-3 as Dustin Skinner taking exactly 5 seconds of a power play to bury one in the far face-off circle. Face-off center ice after the fight. Lamoureux has poked away. Now we'll have a race of 2 red jerseys against Bennett. And now here comes Frazier breaking away. Whitmire towards his right. Frazier shoots and score! Julian Frazier, his right knee down as he sellies. For Frazier, give him his 2nd goal of the season. And Port Huron's lead now ballooned up to 3. 6-3 Prowlers, 11:25 to go in the third on a 4-on-4 and 2 seconds remain before Port Huron going up to work. The Prowlers pumping up their fans sitting behind section 21 and the bench of Trevor Karazowicz. You just see the smile from up here. A big, big smile for Karazowicz. Julian Frazier breaking away and puts it past Torf. And the Prowlers now lead by 3. 11:20.